Hello guys, welcome to the Crypto Matrix. I'm Mr. Legend. In this video, we'll be talking about the king of the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin. Bitcoin investment tool, the 2-year multiplier. We're looking at the best times to buy Bitcoin during the bear market. Looking at sentiments in the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin trades around the $63,000 level. A market seller is toying with market participants, selling 32 Bitcoin for buying 1,550 Bitcoin. We look at other news stories going around the cryptocurrency market, affecting the price of Bitcoin, while Bitcoin performed poorly in Q2 of 2026. Are we going to see the bottom happen in Q2? Do we have to wait for Q3? We'll talk about that and more in this video. Let's get down to business. Bitcoin is down 0.8% in the last 1 day, down 10% the last 1 week, down 21% the last 1 year. And on the yearly time frame, Bitcoin is down 40%. A lot of market participants believe we're deep in the bear market, and they will not be wrong to think so. Bitcoin has been dumping since October of 2025, where it got to as high as $124,000. Since then, we've seen Bitcoin dump to as low as $59,000. That's a 53% decline for Bitcoin, and that's the biggest decline we've seen for Bitcoin since 2022, when it was trading at $15,000 and it rallied its way towards $124,000. The last time we saw Bitcoin dumping this hard was in 2022, when we saw Bitcoin, 2021 and 2022, when Bitcoin went from $69,000 to as low as $15,000, and then it was a 77% decline to Goblin Town. Which begs the question: if this is a bear market, where will the bottom come in? In 2022, after Bitcoin got to the 200-week moving average, we still saw Bitcoin spend a significant amount of time below it. We saw Bitcoin still going 30% below the 200-week moving average before we started that big pump to the upside. They eventually took us to $100,000. But in previous bear markets, we saw Bitcoin just chilling around the 200-week moving average. During the COVID sell-off, we saw Bitcoin piercing below the 200-week moving average. If you go back to 2014, 2015, Bitcoin had some candles below the 200-week moving average. Right now in 2026, history is not repeating itself exactly, but it sure does rhyme. Bitcoin has arrived at the 200-week moving average, and Bitcoin is currently consolidating there. So the million-dollar question is that bottom in? Let's look at this Bitcoin investor tool, a 2-year MA multiplier, and just like the 200 moving average, it tells you the best time to buy Bitcoin. In the past, I showed you the 200 moving average has been a good predictor of buying Bitcoin during bear markets, during extreme fear. When Bitcoin's price comes to the 200-week moving average, that's always a good time to buy. If you look at the Bitcoin investor tool, the 2-year multiplier tool, if you look at the Bitcoin investor tool, 2-year multiplier, 2-year moving average tool, you will see that, guys, anytime we get to this green region, anytime we get below the green line, has always been a good time to buy. Anytime we start approaching the red line, has always been a good time to sell. Now the green line is the 2-year moving average, the red line is the 2-year moving average times 5. We got towards the green, below the green level way back in 2011. That was a good time to buy. The next best time to buy Bitcoin was way back in 2014 and 2015. And we saw Bitcoin getting cheap again in 2018. And all this period in time, I'm calling, guys, coincided with when Bitcoin came to the 200-week moving average and when Bitcoin was in extreme fear. So historically, if we see all those three elements aligning, that's we see extreme fear in the cryptocurrency market, we see Bitcoin near the 200-week moving average, and we see Bitcoin below the 2-year moving average. That has been a good time to buy. During the COVID sell-off, that was a great time to buy some Bitcoin. Again, during the COVID sell-off, Bitcoin went below that key level. And in 2022, we saw Bitcoin going below that level from May. That was a good time to buy Bitcoin till late 2023. Bitcoin was in an accumulation phase. And right now, guys, in 2026, history is not repeating itself exactly as I earlier told you guys, but it sure does rhyme. I've seen Bitcoin go to the accumulation phase since January 2026, and Bitcoin has not been able to rally above it historically. Anytime you see Bitcoin in this green region, you have to buy some Bitcoin, because in the future you will be happy you did. I don't think this time is different. I believe we're going to see Bitcoin eventually pump to higher prices. And if you look at sentiment in the cryptocurrency market, another important metrics to pay attention to, minus the 200-week moving average, minus Bitcoin's 2-year moving average, is sentiment in the cryptocurrency market. If you see extreme fear in the market, guys, historically, retail investors are puking. Historically, that has been a good time to buy. The mantra is to always buy when there's extreme fear in the market. and sell when extreme greed returns back to the cryptocurrency market. And right now, there's extreme levels of fear in the market. We saw a single digit in the fear and greed index yesterday. Today, according to fear and greed index, we have a value of 10 out of 100. Hopefully, we'll see some great return back to the cryptocurrency market before the end of the year. The last 3 months has been crazy. We walked our way from extreme fear back into neutral sentiment and back into extreme fear. I believe the relief rally or the complacency rally that will be coming through is going to catch a lot of market participants off guard, because we still have a huge section of the market believing we'll continue dumping to goblin town. Yes, Bitcoin could easily fall below the 200-week moving average and spend multiple weeks there. We saw that in 2022. But my experience, guys, the market doesn't repeat exactly what it did the previous cycle. And imagine you are waiting for Bitcoin to just get to the 200-week moving average, consolidate and start pumping, just like we did in 2018. You would have been wrong, because this time around, Bitcoin spent a lot of time below that 200-week moving average, even though eventually we pumped above it. Eventually, we saw bullish price action. But one thing is sure, 200-week moving average is very important for Bitcoin, which has led the market participants to start asking that question: is the bottom in? Because Bitcoin reached new purge with bear market losses still $35 billion below 2022 total. Bitcoin realized losses remain below the $211 billion tally from 2022, leading to a prediction that the next bear market bottom was not yet in. That's the hottest topic right now in cryptocurrency market. Is the bear market bottom in yet? I think we're very close to the bear market. Nobody know exactly the day the bear market bottom is going to tick, but there's a lot of sign that we're very close there. There's a lot of sign that smart money is accumulating right now, because, guys, if you look at the RSI, look at the RSI for Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin's cost of production. That's another important metric to pay attention to. Bitcoin cost of production historically has been a good signal for when to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's cost of production tells us we're seeing Bitcoin's cost of production band, which is a good time to buy Bitcoin. In 2022, that was a very accurate estimation of when to buy Bitcoin. Not when Bitcoin just hit the 200-week moving average. When Bitcoin was fully in its cost of production band was a good time, and the COVID sell-off was a good time. In 2018, we saw Bitcoin going below in the cost of production band. That was a great time to buy Bitcoin. In 2014 and 2015, those are good times to buy Bitcoin. And right now, the chart is telling us this is a great time to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently in its cost of production band. Don't be shocked, guys, if in the next few weeks market participants are scared, stay expecting lower prices while Bitcoin continues to pump to higher prices. We saw similar price action in 2022 when Bitcoin got to $15,000. This general sentiment in the cryptocurrency market was that there was one more low down. We're going to go to $12,000, maybe $10,000. But what happened? Bitcoin steadied at $15,000 and walked its way out of $15,000 to higher values. And that's what I'll be expecting Bitcoin to do over the next few weeks. Bitcoin bottom price not due to Q4. That's the general sentiment in the cryptocurrency market. The 4-year cycle theorists are believing Bitcoin is going to bottom in Q4 of the mid-term years, that Bitcoin is going to bottom at some point in time in 2026 from September to December. I don't think that, guys. I don't believe it's that straightforward. I believe we're going to see Bitcoin bottom earlier than a lot of market participants expect. And by the time they're waiting for new lows, they will have to FOMO back in at higher prices, because the general sentiment would be they have missed the low. I still believe strongly in the long term that Bitcoin is going to have a crash, but right now we have oversold. We're oversold on many time frames, so don't be shocked to see a relief rally. Don't be shocked to see a compensation rally that will take Bitcoin above $100,000. That's my base case for Bitcoin in 2026. Bitcoin is down 7.97% in Q2 of 2026. On a monthly time frame, Bitcoin lost 3% of its value in May. It's down 14.81% in the month of June. Hopefully, we end June on a positive note. Hopefully, we end June with positive sentiment returning back to the cryptocurrency market. But right now, market seller is still trolling market participants, because strategy resumes buying, purchasing more than 1,550 Bitcoin for $101 million. Just last week, a lot of market participants were scared because MicroStrategy sold like 32 Bitcoin. But right now, they bought over 1,550 Bitcoin, probably just testing the sell side liquidity. But one thing is sure, Bitcoin is at a very attractive level to buy on the long term. Whether you look at the Bitcoin Investors Tool as a 2-year moving average multiplier, whether you look at the moving average, whether you look at Bitcoin's cost of production, whether you look at sentiments in the cryptocurrency market, it all boils down to this being a good buying opportunity for Bitcoin. So, guys, drop it out in the comment section. Are you still buying some Bitcoin right now? How low do you expect Bitcoin to go if the bottom is not in? If the bottom is in, when do you think we'll start pumping towards higher prices? Drop your thoughts about that in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos like this. Turn on the post notifications to get notified anytime I drop a new video, anytime I go live. Remember guys, when it comes to investing, nothing will pay off more than educating yourself. And investments in knowledge pays the best interest. Invest for the long haul. Don't get too scared. Don't get too greedy. See you guys in my next video.